Hey there, today I wanted to talk about being an artist and the concept of minimalism. So, about 3 to 4 years ago, I don't know exactly, I discovered minimalism through The Life Changing Magic of Tidying Up by Marie Kondo. Obviously, that's the book that so many people have read, and now I guess she's pretty well known and popular because of her Netflix show. I really couldn't watch that one because it got so annoying to read all the subtitles. I know I'm probably a bad person, but I just couldn't deal with it. So I read the book a few years ago, and I don't know, I was living in full on chaos. I had so much stuff, I was so overwhelmed, and then I decluttered my stuff. Not once, but probably like 10 times over and over again. And I also found the minimalists and I watched their documentary and listened to their podcast. And I really I really thought about minimalism a lot, and I really got rid of a lot of stuff, at least 50% of all the things that I own, at least, maybe more. I got rid of most of my books. I got rid of just so many clothes and so many things. And I didn't even have that many things to start off with, but I always felt overwhelmed. I've always been the more like a messy type of person, even though now that I live alone, I realize that that's not entirely the case. But I've never been like a real neat freak or anything like that. But my mother is, so she really wanted me to be more neat, and I was just rebelling against her by being super messy. And I was still really overwhelmed by the amount of stuff that I had. So I thought about decluttering my stuff, and I did. And I also decluttered my art supplies, but that was the area that I decluttered the least, I guess. But I did really get rid of a lot of stuff. I got rid of colored pencils and that I hadn't been using for a while, and I just kept like one item of each, like one colored pencil in a certain color from a certain brand and not like 10 of them because I had been collecting them over time. And I also got rid of watercolors that I hadn't been using and stuff like that. So I really decluttered my art supplies as well, but I kept a lot. And I really thought about the concept of minimalism when it comes to art. And I wanted to watch a lot of videos about that, but I really couldn't find any. To be honest, I haven't even looked if there are some on here now. So I just thought that I would talk about it because I felt like it. And maybe this helps someone because I wanted to share my thoughts on that. Because I believe when you have a million art supplies, it's very easy to get overwhelmed and to be overwhelmed with the feeling that you have to use them all at some point. And I think, in my opinion, that this is actually quite limiting because you feel like I have to use those markers, also those watercolors, acrylic, whatever you have lying around, I have to use it all. I have to learn it all. And you can't just stay with one medium or maybe two for a while because you feel guilty that you're not using all of the media. And also, if you start multiple sketchbooks, you feel inclined to fill them all, and but you don't. You start over with the next one. It also happens with notebooks. You start over with the next one, and you never really fill them. And I think that this is very overwhelming to me, and I just feel like I'm scattered all over the place while I really want to finish stuff as well. So I started really finishing sketchbooks as well, and this feels really good because you feel like you're done with something. And I also started really getting rid of stuff that I don't use, and maybe I should do another round and declutter again, but I feel quite comfortable with the amount of art supplies that I have now. I probably have more than the average person, but I have a YouTube channel and I'm an artist, so I do own more stuff, but I own way less than the average YouTube artist. So I can't even think about the last time that I bought any art supplies. I've been thinking about getting some new ones recently just to spark my inspiration and to try something new again. But it's like I'm really thinking about that. I've been thinking about that for months. And it's not like I don't allow myself to buy new art supplies. It doesn't feel that limiting. I just have this new mindset where I'm like, am I going to use them? Do I really need them? Or can I just use the ones that I already have? And wouldn't I be happier with the ones that I already have? So I'm really debating that, whether it's worth it, not even when it comes to the money, because it's my business and my business would pay for them. So it's not my personal money that I'd spend on it, but it's just, I'm really thinking about, are they lying around and are they going to make me feel guilty when I'm not going to use them? So if you're a person who can hoard stuff and feel totally happy about it and not feel overwhelmed by the sheer amount of stuff that you own, then probably minimalism isn't the perfect concept for you. But if you tend to feel guilty because you have art supplies that you're not using, then maybe look through your stuff and maybe consider decluttering some of it. And I think, to be honest, the decluttering part isn't the most important part of it. That's just what comes first. The most important part is not really maintaining the amount of stuff that you have, because you're probably still buying new stuff, but just not buying useless stuff anymore and changing your mindset when it comes to buying new stuff. And that's the thing that I never wanted to hear when I was first thinking about the concept of minimalism, because I just wanted to declutter and be done with it and then buy new stuff and then declutter again, which is so ingrained in our minds that we always need to buy new supplies and we need all that stuff. And yeah, it's not just in art, it's everywhere. But I think when you're way more into the mindset of minimalism, this starts to come natural. You're not thinking about it as much anymore and you're just buying way less. But this took me a while to get here, and I didn't force myself to change my mindset to that. So I allow myself to buy new stuff. I just think about it way more and I don't buy as many things on impulse anymore. Maybe it also has something to do that I work at a mall in marketing and I see so many products every day. And at first I wanted to buy all of them, but now it's like, yeah, I don't really care anymore. It's just products. They're all around. When I need something, I'm gonna buy it, but when I don't really feel inclined to buy it anymore, however pretty it might be. I mean, sometimes I guess sometimes I'll treat myself to something, but it's not really that bad. I feel like even though I might own more stuff than the average person. I don't know. I don't even own more stuff than the average person, but I do own more stuff than the average minimalist. I feel like I still have quite a minimalist mindset. And I think that's all that matters, that you have the amount of stuff and that you buy the amount of stuff that makes you happy. You don't have to sit around without furniture and sleep on a mat on the floor. You can do whatever you want and you don't have to call yourself a minimalist, but just maybe look at the concept of minimalism. And the concept is to just own the amount of stuff that you feel happy with and just don't buy excessive stuff that you don't even want to use later. And if you look at it that way, I think that it's a really useful concept and it really changed my life for the better. So I really wanted to talk about it with you while painting those squash flowers. And I really hope that you had a nice week, and I wish you a very nice next week. I really hope that you liked this video, and if you did so, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. And until next time, goodbye.